this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of our story called The Paradise of Children. And the vocabulary words are admire.
Admire.
Rosie looked out the plane's window and admired the beautiful view.
Sting.
Ow! Sting.
The bee stung Joe right on the tip of his nose.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
Physical.
Physical.
Time is not a physical object.
True. Misery.
Misery.
The desire for money and power has been a source of human misery for centuries.
Fairy.
Fairy.
In the story, a small child is visited by a fairy princess. So we're still talking about the paradise of children, right?
Yeah, so there's two children in particular. Epimetheus.
That's right, and Pandora.
Okay, so Epimetheus has a box, and he knows we shouldn't open this box. He tells Pandora. She's curious. Does she open the box?
Well, she is so curious, and then I guess she couldn't stand it anymore. So she said, okay, I'm going to open it and just see what's inside. So, what's inside the box?
Some winged creatures with like bat wings, and they have like a stinger on their tail. They sound like some pretty disgusting, terrible creatures, right?
But in simple words, they're kind of just like earthly troubles, but in physical form.
So in other words, her curiosity when she opened this up is what caused all these bad things to happen.
That's
this
right.
This world wouldn't have poverty or hunger or pain or suffering if she didn't open the box.
You're right. And then there's like diseases too and evil passions.
Basically everything bad.
And then everything went in all different directions, and that affected all the children in the world.
And even stung Prometheus, Epimetheus.
Epimetheus,
right?
that's right.
So, but there was another small voice she heard.
But like a sweet one.
A sweet one. So should they trust it or close the box?
I don't know. The sweet voice is like, just open it. It's okay. Maybe I can help you. But I don't know if this voice can be trusted.
We better hurry up and find out. I'm on the edge of my seat.
All right. Enjoy.
The Paradise of Children.
One day, when Epimetheus was out gathering food, Pandora looked at the box and admired its intricate beauty and detail. She noticed that it was tied with a knot of gold, which unraveled itself when she touched it. Just as she raised the lid, a black cloud filled the cottage.
Hello and welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kim.
And today we're reading part 2 of The Paradise of Children. Epimetheus, Pandora, the box. What's in it? We don't know. Let's read.
So one day, when Epimetheus was out gathering food, Pandora looked at the box and admired its intricate beauty and detail.
She's going to open the box.
She's going to open the box.
Oh, Pandora. But can you blame her? She doesn't know what's in the box. Epimetheus won't tell her. She can't ask questions. And now we learn that the box is beautiful. It was very attractive, very pretty. It had designs on it. It was like a piece of art. This wasn't your average, paper, cardboard, brown box you get from Amazon or PC Home. No, you wouldn't admire something like that. You wouldn't look at that and go, wow, how beautiful, how pretty it is. No, because if you do look at something and notice how beautiful and pretty it is, you admire that thing. You look at it with understanding and kind of a love, or certainly, going, that's really special. I really like it. I enjoy looking at this lovely thing. You wouldn't look at a normal box like that. It has to be special in some kind of way. That's why you admire it. For example, Rosie looked out the plane's window and admired the beautiful view.
I've done that.
So we can imagine she's probably flying over some mountains or some beautiful islands. She's not sitting in the airport looking at a truck.
No.
You wouldn't admire
Definitely
something
not.
like that. It would be beautiful, and you'd look at it and go, wow, that's so beautiful.
Yes. So as Pandora admires this beautiful box, she noticed that it was tied with a knot of gold,
Ooh.
which unraveled itself when she touched it.
But she touched it.
She shouldn't have touched
She
it.
shouldn't have touched it. Yeah, there you go. Anyways, so she touched it and it came apart. This knot of gold. So it's like they tied string around the box, but that was made of gold or something like that.
That's not good security.
Not very good security. And of course, since the knot came undone, she might as well open it, right? Just as she raised the lid, a black cloud filled the cottage.
Yikes.
That's not good. So she opens the box, or she raises the lid, opens the covering on the box, and just then a black cloud fills the cottage. This is definitely not something you order from Amazon. I'd like a black cloud delivered to my house, please. No, you don't do that. This is not good. But you know what is good? A break. Taking a break is good. So let's do that, and then we'll come back and find out what else came out of the box along with this black cloud.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的故事读到说 ，Pandora 对于小屋里面那个大盒子非常的好奇。那有一天啊，当 Epimetheus 他外出去采集食物的时候 ，Pandora 就在看那个盒子，然后去欣赏它很复杂精细的美丽外观。他就注意到说，这个盒子呢有被一个金色的结给绑住。然后当他一碰那个箱子，结就自动解开了。那既然结都解开了 ，Pandora 当然会忍不住想要偷看盒子里的东西啦。就在他掀开盖子的时候，一团乌云突然布满了整间小屋，看来有坏事要发生咯。那我们来看这边有一个单字是 admire，admire 它是动词，表示欣赏、观赏或是钦佩、赞赏的意思。接回到课文中。
The Paradise of Children.
A swarm of ugly winged creatures with bat wings and stingers on their tails flew out from inside the box and filled the air. One of them stung Epimetheus as he entered the cottage. The creatures were all the earthly troubles given physical form. There were cares, evil passions, sorrows, and diseases. When Pandora opened the cottage door, the creatures fled in every direction, bringing misery to all the world's children.
So, Epimetheus left the cottage. Pandora opened the box. Of course she opened the box. She wants to know what's in the box. And what came out of the box? Well, just before the break, remember? A black cloud came out of this box and filled the cottage. Nothing good ever comes out of a black cloud.
No, I would say not. Let's see what was in it. A swarm of ugly winged creatures with bat wings and stingers on their tails flew out from inside the box and filled the air.
Oh my God, it was full of black clouds and monsters.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. So these ugly creatures have wings. They have stingers on their tails like a bee or a wasp, something like that. It's like an ugly wasp bat kind of creature. And it says one of them stung Epimetheus as he entered the cottage.
Ooh.
I shouldn't laugh, but that's terrible. He just went out to get some water. He comes back, there's a black cloud. He's being attacked by monsters. And then there's Pandora like, sorry.
He's totally innocent. He got stung.
Absolutely, he did. He got stung by one of these creatures. And that could be really bad, right?
Yeah. Now, what happened to him? He got stung.
Yeah.
The verb is sting. Now, to sting means to poke or pierce with venom. And usually this is from a bee or a scorpion. Anything that has a stinger on the back that will poke you. And as we see, the bee stung Joe right on the tip of his nose.
Ooh. That's gotta hurt.
Oh, that's terrible. Have you ever been stung by a bee?
I have a couple of times. It doesn't feel very good. We should point out, though, that bees will sting you. Scorpions, right, on the tail, they might sting you. But other things like a spider or a mosquito, we would say they bite you because they use their mouth parts. The sting's usually in the tail or in the back of the animal. So
That's very true.
It's similar and they'll both hurt, but a sting is a little different from a bite from an animal.
Now, the creatures were all the earthly troubles given physical form. There were cares, evil passions, sorrows, and diseases.
So all the bad things in the world were trapped in that box, but now, of course, they're free. They're out of the box. And these are bad things that were given physical form once she opened the box. What is physical? Physical talks about things that we can touch and exist in the real world. They're there, they're solid, you can put your hands on them. Some things, like feelings, emotions, love, hate, jealousy, anger, these are not physical things. You can't touch love or touch hate. You might write down your feelings of love in a letter. That is a physical thing. And of course, other normal things, a chair, a table, a dog, an apple. These are physical things. But things that come from our heart, our mind, ideas, our imagination, our emotions or feelings, these are not physical things. Because if it's physical, you can touch it in the real world. Here's another example of something that's not a physical thing. For example, time. Time is not a physical object. We can look at a clock and read the time on our watch or something, but time itself, you can't touch time. It's not a physical object. All right, so back to the article. Well, everything bad has come out of the box. It's flying around, all these terrible things in the world. And then we read, when Pandora opened the cottage door, probably to run away or something.
Understandably.
Yeah, absolutely. When Pandora opened the cottage door, the creatures fled in every direction, bringing misery to all the world's children. She just can't stop opening stuff.
When is she gonna stop?
I know. You open the box, now you open the door, and now all the bad things are out there in the world, bringing misery to people.
Now all the children have great misery. Misery is great sadness. You are so sad. You are so upset. This situation is awful. Everything is terrible. As we see, the desire for money and power has been a source of human misery for centuries. A lot of times when people have wars or fight with other people, it's usually over money or power.
Absolutely. But other things, disease brings misery, hunger brings misery. It brings great sadness, suffering, terrible experiences to people. That's basically what misery is. Well, to break our misery, at least for a short time, we're going to have a break, and then we'll be back with more misery.
Yeah!
Pandora 一掀起盖子，马上就有一团乌云布满整间小屋诶，然后接着盒子里面飞出一大群丑陋的生物。这些生物呢，有着蝙蝠的翅膀，然后那个尾巴末端啊还有刺针。其中一只呢，就在 Epimetheus 走进小屋的时候蛰了它，真的很衰诶。好，那我们先来看单字 sting。sting 这个动词表示刺或是叮或是蛰。那它的动词三态是 sting、stung、stung。我们在 sting 后面加上 er 变成 stinger， 就可以表达刺针、蛰的那个针。好，那么 Kim 老师在解释单字时，他用到 poke，P-O-K-E 就是表达戳或是刺。那么还有用到 pierce，P-I-E-R-C-E，pierce 表示刺破、刺穿或是刺入。还有 venom。V-E-N-O-M，venom 则是表达说像那种会蛰人或是咬人的那种生物所注入的毒液，像蛇啊、蝎子等等的毒液，我们就会用 venom 表达。刚刚老师们还有提到几种会蛰人的生物，像是 wasp，W-A-S-P，wasp 表示黄蜂或是胡蜂，还有 scorpion，S-C-O-R-P-I-O-N，scorpion 表示蝎子。另外 Mike 老师提醒我们，蚊子、蜘蛛它们的叮咬呢是用动词 bite， 不是用 sting 来表达。sting 通常是说尾端有一根刺的那一种蛰咬才会用 sting 表达。好，故事接着写到说，盒子里面飞出来那些东西啊，其实是所有人世间的麻烦事，只是它们被赋予实体，被化作了丑陋的生物。那这些麻烦事就包含了忧虑啊、道德败坏的激情、悲伤还有疾病。好，那接着 Pandora 她可能吓坏，赶快打开这个小屋的门。那这些生物呢，就往四面八方飞去，于是就为全世界的孩子们带来痛苦了。好，这边有两个单字 ，physical， 它是形容词，形容有形的、实质的或是身体的。那么 misery 它表示悲惨的境遇或是痛苦、苦难。这个字可以当可数或不可数名词用。介华课文中。
The Paradise of Children.
Pandora then heard a sweet voice from inside the box. The voice promised that it wasn't one of the naughty ones. The two children lifted the lid again, and out came a beautiful fairy named Hope. The light returned to the room, and when the fairy touched Epimetheus and Pandora, their pain disappeared.
I promise never to desert you.
Hope said. From that day on, Hope was always there to heal people's wounds and make the world a better place.
All right, so back in our article, terrible things have come out of the box. Pandora's let loose all the worst things in the world.
Thanks a lot, Pandora.
Epimetheus got stung on his nose by some kind of flying bee, bat, wasp monster thing. And so as we get back to the article, we read, Pandora then heard a sweet voice from inside the box. Well, that's good, because all the other... I don't know. But all the other things that came out of the box were terrible, right? So even a sweet thing or a kind and nice, beautiful thing, that would be something for us. And what did this sweet voice say? Well, the next sentence tells us, the voice promised that it wasn't one of the naughty ones. Oh, okay, I'm not one of the terrible things. I'm nice.
I don't buy it.
Maybe.
So the two children lifted the lid again, and out came a beautiful fairy named Hope.
Oh, that's nice. So all the terrible things came out, but the last thing that was left was hope in the form of a fairy. Now, a fairy is a creature, but it's not a real animal or creature in the world. It comes to us from stories and fairy tales. They're small, they're pretty, they have wings, they fly around, they do magic. Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, of course, from the famous Disney Peter Pan movie, flies around, does magic with her little wand. So fairies generally are quite good creatures. You know, in stories, they might be a little naughty, but they're not evil or terrible. They're beautiful little magical creatures from storybooks and fairy tales. For example, in the story, a small child is visited by a fairy princess.
Oh, that's nice.
Who destroyed the world.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, she didn't. She didn't. They're good.
So the light returned to the room, and when the fairy touched Epimetheus and Pandora,
Zing.
Their pain disappeared. I promise never to desert you, Hope said.
Oh, that's nice. So when all the terrible things are around you, you still have hope. From that day on, as we read, hope was always there to heal people's wounds and make the world a better place.
That's a nice ending.
Epimetheus' nose feels better now.
Probably after that, boop.
He has hope that it will get better and it will go back to its normal size.
I think so.
That's nice. All right, it's time for our What Do You Think question. Here it is. Should Pandora have opened the box? Why or why not?
Well, it was a good thing she opened it because we did get hope in the end.
True, but we also got disease and all the other terrible things.
Also true.
Yeah, well, I guess some people would say that without the terrible things, you wouldn't enjoy the good things so much, right?
That's true. You have to go through the rain to get the rainbow, as we say.
Absolutely. So if your life was a paradise for children, then maybe you'd be kind of bored with life after a while. Interesting idea, but a good story. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Keep hope alive.
And see you next time.
And see you next time. Bye-bye.
当那些丑陋生物飞出去之后，接着盒子里面传来一个很甜美的声音。Pandora 和 Epimetheus 他们再次打开盖子，那出来的是一位美丽的仙子，叫做希望。好 ，Fairy 呢就是小精灵、小仙子，就像彼得潘故事里面不是有一位美丽的小仙子吗？她手里常会拿一支魔法棒、魔杖。那么 Mike 老师刚刚有用到 wand 这个字 ，W-A-N-D wand 就表示魔杖、魔棒。好，这边还有两个重点哦。第一个是地方副词的倒装。好，地方副词或是地方副词片语呢，通常会摆在句尾。当我们要强调地点，或者是你的主词带有比较长的修饰语的时候，我们可以把地方副词或副词片语呢移到句首，之后呢再把主词和动词进行倒装。那以句型来看，原本直述句的句型就是主词加动词加地方副词或副词片语。 那我们现在把这个地方副词或副词片语呢移到句首，倒装之后，句型就变成地方副词或副词片语加上动词，再加上主词。举例来说 ，A scary monster lived in the cave。一只恐怖的怪物住在那个洞穴里。那我们把地方副词片语 in the cave 移到句首，然后再经过倒装之后，就会写作 In the cave lived a scary monster。好，补充一下哦。介副词像是 above, away, back, below, up, down, out, off 等等，也适用这样的倒装句型。就像我们课文里面他写说 Out came a beautiful fairy， 它就是把介副词 out 摆在句首，然后把主词和动词进行倒装。第二个重点是 name 当动词呢，可以表达命名取名。被动用法是 be named 加上名词就可以表达名为什么，名叫什么。举例来说 The girl in the painting was named Teresa。 画中的那位女孩名叫 Teresa。 好，那么故事最后写到说，光明回到了房里，相信那一团乌云现在应该都散去了。那么当仙子碰触到那两个孩子的时候，他们的痛都消失了。而从那天起，希望总是会在那里来疗愈人们的伤口，让世界成为一个更美好的地方。哇，听起来至少是个完美的结局啦。好，那不管怎么样，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
I need to file a complaint.
What seems to be the problem?
My line account has been stolen.
Can you explain what happened?
The other day, my friends received messages from me, hoping to borrow some money from them. But I didn't send the messages.
Did any of them transfer the money?
Yes, several of them thought I really needed the money, so they sent some right away.
Roughly how much was the amount sent?
It's probably over 20,000 NT.
Have you received any strange messages recently?
Oh, a while back, a friend couldn't log into his account and asked to have a code sent to my phone. He said he needed the code to confirm his account, so I sent it.
There you go. We have had a lot of cases like this. Scam artists will use that method. They steal the identity of someone and then scam their friends and family.
Can my friends get the money back that they already sent?
We will do our best to track it down.
See you next time!